I want to start this video honestly. As a kid, I did have curiosity. I was always fascinated by the idea of traveling the world, hearing different languages, seeing how people live somewhere else. But here's the important part. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't dream of a specific career. I didn't have a clear direction. I just knew I didn't want to stay in one place doing the same thing forever. So I wasn't chasing a dream job. I was chasing experience. And without realizing it, languages slowly became the thing that connected all those experiences together. Not because I planned it, but because every time I followed my curiosity, a new language showed up. Here's the truth. Languages were never my goal. I didn't wake up excited about grammar books or vocabulary lists. I didn't care about sounding native. I didn't even believe I was good at languages. What I wanted was movement. I wanted to leave familiar environments. I wanted to test myself somewhere new. Languages were just part of the process. At first, they felt like obstacles. Later, I realized they were actually the bridge. One of the biggest turning points was Spain. I went there for scuba diving instructor and internship. Not to learn Spanish, not to reinvent myself, just to work, dive, and experience something different. But reality hits fast when you live somewhere new. Suddenly, English wasn't enough. Clients, coworkers, daily life, everything was happening in Spanish. At the beginning, my Spanish was terrible. I mixed tenses, I forgot words mid-sentence, I felt slow, I felt stupid. But I didn't have the luxury of quitting. Spanish wasn't optional anymore, it was survival. And that's when learning accelerated, not because I studied harder, but because I needed it. Living and working in Tenerife pushed my Spanish further than any course ever could, because it wasn't textbook Spanish, it was real life. Jokes, slang, frustration, fast conversations, people interrupting each other, laughing, teasing. I learned Spanish the messy way, through embarrassment and repetition. And something important happened there. Spanish stopped being a language that I'm learning and became a tool. That mindset shift changed everything. Looking back, one pattern keeps repeating my life. I say yes before I feel ready. I never waited to feel fluent. I never waited to feel confident. I spoke anyway, and every time I did, people responded positively. Not because I was perfect, but because I tried. Languages don't reward perfection, they reward courage. More or less 10 years ago, I worked part-time jobs in Venice, Italy. Nothing glamorous, normal jobs, daily interactions. That experience taught me something crucial. Languages don't stay fluent on their own. You have to live them. Italian stayed with me because I used it every day, joking with coworkers, dealing with customers, navigating my daily life. Languages are like muscles. Use them and they stay strong. Ignore them and they fade. Then came Brazil. I landed there speaking almost no Portuguese, just hola and obrigado. And suddenly I was beginner again. That feeling never gets easier, but it gets more familiar. Brazil inspired me in a different way. The warmth, the openness, the patience people had with my broken Portuguese. I realized something powerful. People don't expect perfection, they appreciate effort. That realization removed a huge mental block. Something I only understood much later is this. Most opportunities in my life didn't come because I was the best candidate. They came because I was present. Languages didn't magically give me a career path. They gave me access. Access to conversations, access to people, access to moments where something unexpected could happen. Many of the jobs I ended up doing in Spain, Italy, and later connected to Brazil didn't start with applications. They started with someone hearing me speak, realizing I could communicate and thinking, okay, we can work with this. Not perfect Spanish, not perfect Italian, definitely not perfect Portuguese. Just enough to connect. And that's when I understood the world doesn't reward fluency, it rewards initiative. Often I felt underqualified, too young, too inexperienced, not fluent enough. But I kept showing up anyway. Languages allowed me to be useful in small ways at first. Translating something, explaining something, helping someone feel understood. And those small moments stacked up. You don't need to be the best, you need to be there. And languages put you there. They put you in rooms you wouldn't enter otherwise. They keep you from being invisible. People sometimes tell me you're confident, but that confidence didn't come first. At the beginning, I was uncomfortable all the time. I was afraid of sounding stupid, afraid of slowing conversations down, afraid of being judged. But language learning forces you to confront that fear over and over again. Eventually, you realize something important. Nothing bad actually happens. You survive the awkwardness. You survive the mistakes. And slowly, confidence grows. Not because you feel fearless, but because you know you will be okay even if things go wrong. That lesson goes far beyond languages. Every new country reset me. Spain humbled me. Italy tested my patience. Brazil reminded me how it feels to start from zero. Every time I thought to myself, I've done this before, it should be easier. And it was, not because I knew the language, but because I trusted the process. Being a beginner stopped feeling like failure and started feeling like progress in disguise. That mindset changed everything. Most people don't stay stuck because they're lazy. They stay stuck because fear sounds logical. I will start when I'm ready. I will learn when I have more time. I will move when I feel confident. Language learning exposes that illusion quickly. You never feel ready. You start anyway. And once you accept that, you realize how many other areas of life work the same way. Comfort zones aren't dramatic. They don't scream danger. They rather whisper, "This is fine." And that's why people stay. Languages didn't push me out violently. They gently pulled me forward, one conversation at a time. Each small step made the next one easier. I will never sound native in all the languages that I speak, and that used to bother me. And now I see it differently. My accent tells a story. It shows movement, curiosity, effort. People don't connect to perfection, they connect to authenticity. And once I stopped trying to hide my accent, I stopped hiding myself. Languages didn't give me a perfect life. They gave me options. Options to move, options to change direction, options to say yes to opportunities that didn't exist before. When you don't know exactly what you want to do, options matter more than answers. Looking back, learning languages didn't magically solve my life. It gave me momentum. And momentum is often enough to change everything. You don't need a plan to start. You need curiosity and the courage to follow it.